Good day to you. Today we are considering singular point of a complex function. But before that, we have talked about what we call analytical point. Because without talking about analytical point, we won't talk about singular point. We have said that if a function is analytic, then the function is defined and differentiable at a certain point. These are the following definitions. So we consider these functions analytical points. A function f of z is said to be analytic at this point z0 if it is defined and differentiable at that point. That is, if this function is defined and differentiable at a certain point z0, they will say that that function is analytic. Number 2, a function that is analytic at all points in a plane is called an entire function. That is, if a function is analytic, that is at all points that we consider it is analytic, then that function is said to be an entire function. Although we have discussed this before, it's just a reminder. We take an example. If we consider this example, this function is analytic at all points except as z is equal to 1. If you put z is equal to 1 here, we are going to have infinity. So where we have infinity means that the function is not analytic. And b, this function tan z is also analytic except at this point. That is pi over 2. It's not analytic at z is equal to pi. We still have some other points. At least we consider this and any other point that is related to pi over 2, like that of 270, or multiply it by 2n plus 1. N runs from 0 to infinity. Then it's not analytic at all those points. Now, this point here, z is equal to 1, where this f of z fails to be analytic, that point is what we call singular point. So consider the definition. For the singular point, a point z0, a certain point z0, at which f of z fails to be analytic, is called a singular point, or we call it singularity of f of z. That is, singularity of f of z simply means a point where this f of z fails to be analytic. Look at this point now, this function. The singular points here are z is equal to plus or minus I. This one are the singular point. How did we get this? If you ask to find the singular point, you only need to test this to 0, the denominator to 0. Z squared plus 1 equal to 0. Z squared will be equal to minus 1. And z will be plus or minus square root of minus 1. And we know that square root of minus 1 is I. So that means z is equal to plus or minus I are the singular points of this function, or we call it singularity. Now, this singular point exists in different forms. So let's consider the following types of singularity. One, isolated singularity. So a point z0 is called an isolated singularity, or we call it an isolated singular point of f of z. Isolated singular point of f of z. If f of z has no other singular point except z0, that is, there's no other singular point in f of z except z0, that z0 is called an isolated singularity. This is an example here. You can see this is an f of z. This function will be analytic at all points except this z plus or minus I. So this plus or minus I, we call it isolated singularity. This is another example. You can see it's analytic at all points. That is, this function encloses no other singular point except this one. So because it has no other singular point except this one, they will call this singular point an isolated singularity. Another one, Now pose. If you can find a positive integer n such that this limit is equal to L and L is not equal to 0, that is, the limit is not equal to 0, then that Z0, this Z0 is called, that this singularity is called a pole of order n. So if n is equal to 1, we call it simple pole. We call it simple pole. So if n is equal to 2, we call it double pole. So if n is equal to 3, we conclude as a pole of order 3 and order 4, like that. So if you consider this, let's consider this. Let's assume that we want to consider f of z to be 3 over z minus I raised to power 3. Now, to know which type of pole is this, or is even a pole, you find the limit. Limit of z tends to I. This is I. The singular point here is I. If you turn this thing to 0, then z minus I raised to power 3 times 3 over z minus I cube. That is this times f of z. Z minus z naught times f of z. This cancels this. What we have left is 3. What we have left is 3, and 3 is not equal to 0. So in that case, we say that therefore z is equal to I. I is a pole. It's a pole of order 3. One is removable singularity. This is another type of singularity. Let's assume that we assume that z0 here is a singularity or singular point of f of z, or we say that f of z has singular point z0. And if you can find the limit as z tends to this z0 of this f of z, if the limit exists, then we say that z0 is called a removable singularity. If you take example, let's consider a function. Let's consider a function f of z equal to, let's say, sine z over z. In this case now, the singular point here is 0. 0 is the singular point, because if you put 0 here, it will be infinity. Now, let's now find the limit. Limit as z tends to z0, which is our 0 of sine z over z. Now, to find the limit, we apply L'Hospital rule. So we differentiate this, which is cos z, and we differentiate z, that is 1. Substituting z to be 0, that is cos 0, and cos 0 is 1. So the limit exists. So since the limit exists, therefore this singularity here is what we call removable singularity, because although it's a singularity, but when we find this limit, the limit exists. So we can call it a singular removable singularity. Another one is essential singularity. A singular point that is not a pole is called an essential singularity. This is an example. Sine 1 over z. Z is equal to 0 here is an essential singularity. Exponential 1 over z. Z is equal to 1 here is a singularity which is called an essential singularity. There is another one we call branch point. If they say that branch point, we can say that is the singular point, a singular point of function of multivariable. Function of multivariable. Simply say singular point of multi-valued function. You see that singular. What are the multi-valued function? W is equal to ln z is a multi-valued function. W is equal to arcsine z is a multi-valued function. In fact, when we say that w is equal to square root of z, is a multi-valued function. Because why are they multi-valued? If I make z the a formula here, z will be equal to exponential w, and exponential w has more of this w. Also, here will be z w square. That will be w square. W square is more than one function, so it has become multi-valued function. So z is equal to 0 here is a branch point. Z is equal to 0 here is a branch point. It's also a branch point. People say that essential singularity. If a singular point is not a pole and it's not a branch point, we can say that it's an essential singularity. That the following example. Let's say example 1. Let's locate and name the singularity. Let's locate and name the singularity that we have there. Now, first, let's consider this function f of z equal to z square over, let's say we have z square plus 1 in all square into z minus I. V, okay, let's take it one by one. So solution to this. This f of z can be written as z square over, this one is same thing as z plus I into z minus I. But there is square there, so we'll put square here, and z minus I, which can later be written as z plus I all squared, and this one will become z minus I all squared. So the branch points are, the singular points are z is equal to minus I. From this one, if you equate it to 0, so this plus I will turn to minus I. So we can say that it's a pole of order 2. Or we can say that it's a double pole. And the second one, this one is cube, sorry, because this is 2, this is 1. Z is equal to I is a pole of order 3. So these are the two singular points. Z is equal to I and Z is equal to I, and they are poles. They are poles of order 3. And we can also call them isolated singularity. They are both isolated singularity because this f of z encloses no other singular point except these two. Any other point there will not be a singular point. Second one, we consider f of z equal to sec 1 over z. Merely looking like this, maybe looking at it like this, we think it is we may think it is essential singularity, but we still need to do some computations. This is sec. Sec simply means 1 over cos. So simply sec simply means 1 over cos, but there is 1 over z there. Now, to know the singular point of this, we need to equate the denominator to 0. That is cos 1 over z, we equate it to 0. When we equate it to 0, 1 over z will be arc cos 0. And arc cos 0 we know is 90 degrees. But it's not only 90 degrees that will be there. That will be odd numbers times the pi over 2. Pi over 2 is our 90 degree. This is odd numbers. For n is equal to 0 to infinity like that. So that is our z. From this place, we will see that our z is equal to 2 over 2m plus 1 pi. So this is our, for n is equal to 0 and so on. So this is our singular point. We have to locate the singular point. So this is our singular point. So we will now see that this is an isolated singularity. Therefore, z is equal to this. is an isolated singularity, because it encloses no other point except this for n is equal to 0, plus or minus 1, and plus like that. So if you consider this, let's consider f of z equal to ln z minus 1 over z square minus 2z plus 1 all cube. Now this ln here is a multivalued function, so the point that we got here, the zeros of this will be the branch point. Z minus 1 equal to 0, this one, therefore z is equal to 1. So it's a branch point. It's a branch point. We say that it's a branch point. But for this one, z square minus 2z plus 1 all cube can become z minus 1 all cube, all square. There's another square there, and there's another cube. So this is z minus 1 all 6. 2 times 3 is 6. So in this case, z minus 1 is a branch point. It's also a pole, an isolated singularity. It's a pole of order 6. Z is equal to 1. Because putting 1 there is a branch point, is also a singularity. But not the least there, let's consider f of z equal to sine ln z over ln z. So they are both ln z, so we just equate ln z to 0. Ln z equal to 0. If ln z is equal to 0, then z is equal to exponential 0, which is 1. In that case, z is equal to 1 is a singular point. Z is equal to 1 is a singular point. But the question is, what type of singular point is z is equal to 1? Let's find out. Let's find the limit. The limit of z tends to 1 or sine ln z over ln z. If you apply L'Hospital rule, if you differentiate this, it will give you cos ln z times, if I differentiate ln z, I will have 1 over z, divided by, if I differentiate this, I will have 1 over z as well. If I differentiate ln z, from this ln z cancels ln z. If you put z is equal to 1, we have, if you cos ln 1, but ln 1 is 0 and cos 0 is 1. So in that case, since the limit exists, we can say that therefore the singular point z is equal to 1 is a removable singularity, because although it's a singularity, but the limit exists as z tends to 1. So since the limit exists, we say that it's a removable singularity.